Good morning everyone and welcome to our virtual workshop. My name is Matooka Boltman and I will be discussing fraud within travel. First off, we start with what is an OTA. OTA stands for Online Travel Agency, which acts as a marketplace for customers to view and book. This makes it much more easier for potential fraudsters to go online and book airline tickets with different types of cards. Credit card fraud is one of the biggest threats facing both big and small online businesses. This is an even bigger issue for the travel industry due to the nature of the products being sold. While fraudulent travelers are often still booking last-minute flights from countries like Nigeria, they are now doing so under the guise of being a travel agent themselves. They approach smaller travel agents like yourselves with some excuses as to why they need to ticket or issue through them. But in actual fact, this is only to bypass the fraud checks by travel companies like flight agents. We now look at what are the risks of an OTA. OTAs are high at risk of a chargeback fraud, both from individuals or those attempting to resell. For example, should you as the agent not render a service to your client, but you have taken funds from the client's card, the cardholder can then dispute this with the bank and request a chargeback of the funds. Another example would be if it is a stolen card and funds were used without the client's knowledge, the client can then dispute this with the bank as well and request a chargeback, which is not great for any agency because we will be out of pocket and we would need to foot the bill. We now move on to how to identify fraud and avoid online fraud. Fraudsters' most common form of communication these days is via email. They are experienced and working harder and better to not get caught. However, you have an advantage as it gives you time to analyze the request and decide how you would respond or what steps to take to deal with the inquiry. These clients usually apply pressure to the quote request and wants assistance immediately, as the travel is always last minute. Always remain calm no matter how demanding the client may be, as this is one of the many tactics to close the deal as soon as possible. Should the fraudster be spamming you with emails, you can merely respond by advising, "I am looking into your request and will revert soonest." The most common questions asked from fraudsters are, they would firstly want to know which credit cards or major credit cards are accepted by your agency. They're usually asking about Amex, Diners, MasterCard or Visa card. Amex and Diners cards are not 3D secured cards, and these are mainly or mostly the cards that these fraudsters will use in order to book the tickets. Keep in mind that flight agent only accepts Master and Visa cards, and it has to be 3D secured or 3D enrolled by the bank. We do not accept foreign cards or international payments on flight agent card link, as we have blocked these due to high fraud cases. The second question that is the most common is, which airlines can you issue? It might seem innocent, but travelers usually either know which airline he or she would like to use or the cheapest option available. These fraudsters love doing last-minute bookings. As advised previously, they put you under pressure because it is a last-minute booking and they want you basically to close the deal and not check any risk or fraudulent checks in order to close the deal. The last one is the routing. Most of these routings or flights are into Africa or out of Africa. It never touches South Africa. It is always international, and therefore be very careful of the routings. It might seem like it's just a normal flight, but take note of the last minute bookings and the routings that are being requested from you. Scammers these days are getting more sophisticated, and the latest is the change of bank account details. They do this by hacking your emails. Please avoid clicking on any links sent that might look suspicious to you. If you are not expecting any documents or links, do not open it. So what these scammers are doing is, as soon as you have clicked on a link, they have access to your PC, they have access to whatever personal information is on your laptop or PC. They can change invoices to reflect their bank details. So when you do payment thinking that it is to a supplier, you would basically be paying the fraudster. So be very, very cautious when doing this. How to help prevent this fraud?